Hi everyone, welcome to today's video where I'm going to show you a new tool I've just purchased. As you can see, it's an AEG 18 volt air compressor. I'm pretty sure Rigid make one of these in the States. I think they've made one for a few years, but in New Zealand and probably Australia as well. This is a relatively new product. I think it's been around maybe a year or two. I'm hoping for what I need to use it for, it's going to be a really awesome addition to my workshop. So first of all, I'm going to unbox it, then I'll tell you a little bit about why I went with this style of air compressor, and then we'll see if it works. Alright, so that was annoyingly hard to get out of the box, but it's out now. Some features, so I really like, initially I really like this solid handle frame around it. Means it's not going to get banged around really, it's nice and sturdy on good rubber feet here, so that's always nice to see. We've got the on-off switch, regulator here which is lockable, dual gauges, one for the tank, one for the outlet. There's the outlet there, safety valve, and on the back is the drain down the bottom here, drain out any condensation and that sort of thing. It takes two batteries. I believe they need to be, it says right there, they need to be 4 amp hour or bigger, and it will run off one, but there's just slots for 2, so I guess you don't have to change them all the time. And on the top here is a hose wrap as well, so that's quite handy. The tank on this unit is quite small, it's only 3.8 litres, so it delivers 30.8 litres per minute at a max of 120 psi. But previously I had a regular style air compressor which was mid to small size, I would say, but it was pretty much useless for high volume air tools such as especially paint spraying. It just didn't have enough capacity, so it was continually struggling to keep up. So I've kind of given up on that idea of paint spraying in here anyway, because it makes too much of a mess, and I think I will go with a Wagner electric sprayer or something like that rather than a compressor. I don't actually have many other high volume air tools. I only really want to use this for nail guns, air spray guns, filling tyres, working on bikes, that sort of thing. And obviously the portability of this unit is much better than a traditional style, so for me that's why I've moved to this one. And I also want to build it into this workbench so that I can take it in and out quite easily. But I think I'm going to put it down in here, build it in some sort of sliding out drawer, that's something like that, so that'll be really handy. And then if I'm working on the house somewhere else, I can just pull it out of there, carry it down, and easy as, no worries about dragging a big compressor through the house or anything like that. So now let's have a quick look at how it works. I'll grab a couple of batteries and chuck them in, and grab the air hose and nail gun, and we'll put a few nails in something. So a couple of 5 amp hours here, chuck them in. Now we'll turn it on and see what the noise is like. Alright, so that took about 50 seconds to fill from start to finish, so that's pretty good. Just test the regulator here. We'll turn it quite far before it starts dropping, but it's fairly responsive, so that's good. And of course you can lock it by pressing it in like that, and then it's fixed in place. I also just noticed there's a crack in the housing here, so It looks like it's cracked when they've assembled it, so it's not really good. I'll probably take this one back. But in the meantime, I'm going to grab out the nail gun and give it a bit of a test run on some scrap wood that I've got here, and we'll see how it goes. I actually found something better to test this on. I was putting together some pallet Christmas trees for my little kids to paint, so they need a few pieces of wood nailed onto the back to make them a little bit less wobbly. So we'll have a crack at that. I'm going to bang in as many nails as I can, as fast as I can, and we'll see if this air compressor runs out of air. It's only 18 gauge nail, so obviously anything a little bit bigger would use more air, but hopefully this little unit can keep up with this nail gun. Alright, so I just banged in 40 staples pretty much as fast as I could, and the compressor was running, but not one of them missed or didn't go in properly. For me, there's not too many occasions where I would have to nail that fast or do many more of that in such a quick time, so I think that this little unit will more than handle what I need to use it for. And it's also relatively quiet. My old one, I really didn't like using it without that close to me, without earmuffs on, so that's another plus. And one thing I forgot to mention before is that it's completely oil free, so there is no maintenance to be done on it. So I think that this is a really handy little unit for someone who wants to just use low volume air tools, or really wants that portability. For me, it's going to be really handy, I think. So as I mentioned earlier, I'm going to build this compressor into my workbench, or at least give it a home in there so that I can take it in and out easily. So have a look out for that video in future. And as always, if you liked this video, give it a thumbs up and make sure you hit that subscribe button, as it really helps with promotion on the YouTube algorithm. Thanks for watching.